Oh, I'm not streaming right now, am I? Am I back online? I think I got like disconnected or something. Uh, Weird. Okay, but it looks like I'm back online now. So sorry for the brief interruption. Um, okay. I was just yelling at these fletchings to look less stupid. That's all you missed. Um, and then so let's let's yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Stupid fletchings. They can stay stupid. If they want to be stupid, they can stay stupid. They can stay stupid forever. I don't care. See what I care. There should be a notch on the back of the bow for like where it rests in the bowstring. Technically, I think. Uh, I don't know. If I had a bow, I'd want one of those. Or if I had arrows, uh, I'd want a little notch on the back of the arrow so I could load it in the bow. Um, yeah. Wait, how should it go relative to the fletching? You should have like two fletchings on one side and one fletching on the other side, I guess. Huh. Fletchings are weird. Cause like, oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, no, I mean like, cause they have to run across the bow a little bit. Cause like the arrow, like the shaft of the arrow like touches the bow. So like as it like slides off the bow, I guess the fletchings are just on there strong enough so that they don't get ripped off. But whatever. Oops, no, I keep wanting to save this, but you know what, I'm going to. I'm going to squish all these layers together. Oops, oh yeah, right, I have to squish them together in the other order. I have to squish them together layer 4 to 5, then these layers, and then I'm just going to get rid of this layer temporarily so I can save it, and then undo, and then copy this, put it here, and then undo some more. Okay. So yeah, let's put the big target thing over here as well, just for the purpose of drawing stuff. And then right, so here we're gonna lose a lot of the detail. Like we're not gonna see, like so the like the shaft of the arrow. Maybe it won't even get that much wider, but it'll get a little bit like ghostly, I guess, because we'll have like so we'll have it like, because there'll be like a range to which it like is like going like bwawawa. Maybe not even this wide, maybe like a little narrower than this. So it'll be like, yeah, actually I should probably erase it down the center because it'll be like more to both sides at the same time kind of situation. And actually, no, how does this work? How's this? Actually, no. I guess it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be empty down the center. It'd be like. It'd be like. Trying to like picture this. No, yeah. I guess it could be like a little ghostly down the center, but then like not like completely like I don't know. Like it's just supposed to indicate that like it's like motiony. So like motiony. As as I mentioned several times, and it's probably fairly apparent, I am not an animator. I've never done like animation stuff before. Like I've done 2D art before, I've never done 2D animation before. And like when I say I've done 2D art, I mean I've done silly little 2D art stuff in my spare time. I've never done like it in a serious way, and so yeah, no, this isn't right. It's like yeah, no, wait, no, I know what I should be doing. It should be narrower on the sides, and it should be coming up through the center as well. And yes, I think that's what I am trying to. It should look like, because it should look like there are multiples, basically. There aren't really, but it could look roughly like there are. And so the ones on the side will look very. Actually, the one in the middle shouldn't be full thickness either. They should all be like a little bit narrower. Uh, and this again might be a little too wide. Like this, because like the other like the frame of animation immediately prior to this one is also going to be like a very similar sort of composition, and this is supposed to be the narrower of the two. So, yeah. So kind of like this, and then right. So and then between these pieces, it's not supposed to be like 100% like empty per se. It's going to be like kind of like this, I guess. And then so then the other thing is the fletching, right? Because like there's the fletching as well. So like the fletching is going to become like a kind of a blur as well. Again, I'm going to do this on a separate layer because I don't know how exactly it's going to look. And I don't want to, like, I got that nice enough, so I don't want to have to redraw that constantly just while I'm figuring out how the fletching looks. So it's basically just supposed to be like kind of like a blur, like a cross here. Not quite that strong though. And it's supposed to like maintain like roughly like the shape of like what the fletching actually like looks like. Except it's just supposed to be like a little bit like blurred out a little bit. I think that's too much. Because like it's also whipping really fast. It's not supposed to like overwhelm the composition. Like it's not supposed to be like the fletching only accounts for like so much of the tone of like this shape. And does account, I guess it does account for a fair amount. So like maybe it wasn't too out of control how I had it a minute ago. But like but the other thing is like when you whip this, oh yeah, so the other thing is that when you whip these back and forth really fast, you're going to end up actually with a medium tone, right? You're going to end up with like a tone that's like they kind of like, you know, melt together a little bit. So there's going to be that too. Actually, let's put that between the other pieces, like between the sides here, and then let's do a little bit less. Where's the range? Okay, so it also extends a little bit further down, so there can be like a little more of it like down here. And okay, so something like this could be you know, kind of in the right direction. I guess I actually kind of want to use opacity here. Actually, yeah. So, right, so these like medium tones, like I should actually like just be painting in like an extent to which you just like basically just see right through it, right? Yeah, because it wouldn't be if it's moving rapidly, you wouldn't be able to catch like a. Oops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer, aren't I? Oh yeah, and opacity doesn't draw over. So wait, hold on. I'm gonna erase away some of this, and then draw it back in as like less opaque. Okay, yeah, because it's funny. I don't use transparency like basically ever, because there are some situations where I just can't use transparency, and I kind of just like completely got out of the habit. But there are some situations where I can like use calculated transparency appropriately. So I think this is one of them. Alright, so let's make sure we have the right shape. Make sure it gets very narrow towards the top, because it is sticking into a singular point on the target. Right, so I think I'm also gonna use more transparency to represent the fletchings as well, because they just look too bright right now. Still too bright. Oh, cripes. I'm not picking transparency because I'm sampling from image. Right, so I didn't draw that transparent, I drew that red. Whoops. Alright, let's do that again. Let's get rid of all this and do that again. Because right, it looked transparent because I was drawing it over red, because I was sampling from image and not from layer. I wasn't picking up a transparent brown, I was picking up a reddish brown, and it looked transparent on top of the red. Yay, I'm an idiot. Okay, here we go. So, let's try that again. So, there will be like, there will still be like the, the fairly opaque shafts of the arrows like extending up the center here, or up the center and up the sides. We will still have that because there is supposed to be some amount of transparency or opacity, excuse me, just not very much. So actually, yeah, let's do less than that. There we go. And then, right, so now the transparency, which we're sampling from layer now, so this should give us like actual transparency here. And we can test that by hiding this. Look, it's not red anymore, it's just see-through, so that's good. And we can also, yeah, okay, so we can also like beef up the, like almost make it like look web-like a little bit. Like, yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna deactivate that for a little while. Oh, this yellow up here got a little red tinged. So that's not the right color. Oh, and I'm using it. Oh man, working with opacity in Paint.net is like nightmarish because the eraser tool can't fully erase things if you've color picked a color with like less than full opacity. All right. Oops. Actually, let's color pick here. Kind of like paint this in a little bit. Okay. Actually, wait, hold on. That was too much. Oops, wrong layer. What? Freaking stop switching layers, you jerk program. So this is an example of like how much I hate, or like why I like really just have to resent and cannot stand for the jerky stuff that hey Sigam, how's it going? Welcome. Oh, sorry, you said hello a while ago and I did not notice. I'm sorry. Chat has been really slow, so what if the pencil tool? No, that's not helpful. Ugh, whatever. I don't care. This is fine. It's gonna go by really fast. I really don't have to spend a ton of time getting this slide to look like so great or whatever. Alright, so let's just erase like all of what we have on this layer. Let's just basically start over here. Oops, there's more redness apparently on that bottom layer. Whatever, I'll just cover it up. Or I really don't care about this right now. Just erase that and paint it back in a little bit. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons that I used Paint.net for so long is that I never really worked with like low alpha values. I think if I had worked with like lower alpha values, I would have like ran screaming from Paint.net so much faster. Because like their system of management around stuff like that, I'm not impressed by. It's like I'd have a difficult time imagining like a worse like. No, I'm being a little hyperbolic now, but like it's so bad. It's just so bad. It makes me want to cry how bad it is. Oops. I'm just trying to get like anything resembling like a smooth-ish texture here, which I shouldn't. I shouldn't care this much about like a texture that really doesn't matter. But okay, so I'll stop. But like in Paint.net, yikes, I say. Okay, so yeah, so the color of the fletchings is this for now. I might change it, but we'll see. So let's just start immediately with. Oops, what the heck? Oh, because I'm picking from layer now. Okay. Yes. So let's start like right off the bat with like a lower opacity. There just won't be any like full opacity of this color here. That's too much opacity. So I want it to look like that, like stretched out, or like that, like ghostly exactly. So actually, let's use a smaller brush, and like kind of like we did before. Let's just like put in like some of the like where these fletchings like would be showing up, kind of. This might be okay, kind of. Uh, and then, yeah. So like if this is like a, if this arrow is like in a quantum state of like position, then like our fletching will also be, we'll also have like quantum fletchings too. Because just because our arrow is in a weird quantum state doesn't mean it doesn't have fletchings. So this is probably fine for like what I'm going for. So yeah, so I guess like, okay, actually, yeah, this is good. And then, so I'll get rid of this. Oh wait, how does this look with the background? Yeah, looks fine, I guess. Actually, one thing I will touch up with the background is I want a little more of the brown coming out here, and that should, yeah, that should be mostly fine. Actually, this shape, let's like sculpt the fletching a little bit better because it looks like it's coming down a little too far. Yeah, that should be fine. Like I keep wanting to define the shape of the fletchings a little bit better, but then also like it's supposed to be like whipping back and forth really fast, so you wouldn't be able to see the shape of the fletchings really well. So, all right. So we'll call that good. So squish these, ditch these, and save that. Okay. Okay, and so let's copy this and paste it here. Wow, this got a lot smaller. That'll probably be fine. It'll probably still be visible. Yeah, because it's pretty high contrast. So I might want to change the color of the fletchings. Like I might want to change them so. Oh yeah, so I should undo to separate these layers out. Just because if I want to change the hue and saturation of the fletchings, I'll want them on their own separate layer. So like if I change the saturation to be higher, yeah, I should probably like change the saturation to be higher or something. Ugh. Because the fletchings are kind of important in terms of like pulling out the contrast. No. No, I should, if anything, go the other way. Oh, maybe I'll just, instead of making them yellow, maybe I'll just make them white. Because like it just occurred to me, the white on the target itself is actually gray. Nah, whatever. They're fine how they are. Okay. Oh man, can't draw fletchings. That is something I learned about myself. I never knew that I'm incapable of drawing fletchings for some reason. It just never occurred to me that that would be the case, and here we are. Okay, so let's copy this this background and put this in here as well, but on the lower layer, and then right. So for this image, it's basically just gonna be like a more chaotic version of this. It's gonna be like an even. You know what? I might even just like keep this part of the image and just basically like extend it. So like make just another layer of this same sort of effect that we have going on here. So basically be like this and like so. Should come out further. And because this is just this is literally the first frame where the arrow hits the target, and so there'd be a lot of like the oh yeah. So so the technique for filling in the fletchings, I will have to go back here and get this like low opacity color and like put it on a separate layer again. I mean, because like a lot of that fletching stuff is on the lower layer, but to get that effect again, I'll need to use like a I'll need to use a separate layer. So just like kind of slap it back in again. slap in some more of the fletching and stuff, and then keep it relatively contained to the space that we want it, and then, I don't know, something like that could be fine. Oh, and then let's also put the, no, I was gonna say let's put more of the, translucency between the layers here, but I actually am gonna try less. I'm gonna try, like, actually, like, for this frame, like, actually having more separation between these, like, between, like, the swinging of the arrow. I'm gonna try it more like that, because, like, it's a broader range, so, like, we can have a little more definition there, hypothetically. I don't know if we necessarily should, but we can try it. Okay. I don't know how this is going to look. It might be that, like, now that I've, like, added more definition to these images, it might be that the animation effect doesn't, like, sell anymore. So I want to, oh, sorry, I zoned out of chat again. You just connected to Switch chat via RC and it was totally weird. Actually, most yeah. It's like when you accidentally typo it or like use the correct or incorrect capitalization, and it shows the yeah. All right, so yeah, so squish these, delete this, save this, and then I think even before I update this one, I'm gonna just see how these new animations look. So let's add in, yeah, let's add in this other, so archery hit or HT THWAP. Right, so there's actually going to be 4 of these now. There's also going to be an index 2 or index 3. And then so when we're animating this stuff, we'll want to add in the 3rd one. So it's actually going to be most like the 2nd one. So let's duplicate this middle one. Oops. Let's duplicate this middle one. And so if THWAP anim equals, so we'll have to upset all the numbers. Which I didn't actually mean like upset. I meant like set up, but like set up one interval, increase by one increment or several increments. But all right, so this is going to be 2. This one's going to be 3. This one's going to be 2. And I don't really have to change these in, like, these all have the same value, so I don't know. I guess I will, just for consistency, I will update those values. All right, and then so this one is going to be 3. This is going to be index 3 now. Okay. So then here we were checking if the THWAP anim is less than 2, but actually we want to care about less than 3 now. Yeah. Or excuse me, greater than 3, not greater than 2. Right. Wait, greater than 3? Yeah. Wait, what? The way this works is that we wait so the anim starts out as 0, and then we wait for the time to like land the first arrow, and if once we land the first arrow, we blit the thing where it's like shooting onto the screen, and then we increment the anim up, and then we reset the timer, and then the next frame we blit the next frame of animation, and we increment the animation, and the next frame we blit the next frame of animation, and then we increment the frame, and then so else we. So when is this ever? Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so we blit if greater than 3, then we blit the and this is right. Okay, so this is for this part is for the results percentage, and we only blit that once we get above index 3 because we're at index 3 when we get here. Right. So this is supposed to reference index 3 or anim frame 3, whatever you want to call it. And then so this is gonna when we get to 3, we're actually gonna increment it up to 4. And then so we're going to check for frame 4 and increment it up to frame 5. Those THWAPs are the same. So this is here where we add in another frame of animation. So we go so again, we're going from 5 to 6 here. And then we're going from 6 to 7 here. And this is going to be for THWAP anim index 2. Because now there's this extra THWAP frame of animation. Okay. So then this is going to be THWAP anim 3, because this is the what used to be the last frame of animation is now the third index, not the second index. And so what we're looking for is for an anim that's greater than 7. We're checking if it's equal to 7. We're bumping it up to 8 now, because we're bumping it up by 2, bumping it up by 8. Bumping it up instead of by 7 to 9 because we're bumping it up by 2, and this is also supposed to be 9. It's supposed to be 10. And then again, here is where we add another frame of animation. So duplicate this, and so this will go from 10 to 11, and it will use THWAP anim index 2 and THWAP anim index 2 and THWAP anim index 2. You destroyed your desk. Oh no. What happened to your poor dear desk? Okay, so now this is bumped up by 3, so this is going to go up to 11. This is going to go up to 11. And this is going to go up to 12, and that's all we have to do. I think. So let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, so we have the Tableau. I put the Tableau time way up, so let's put the Tableau time back down so that we can just test. Because right now we're testing the last Tableau, so we're just going to blitz through the first Tableaus. We'll only show them for like... Actually, I'm going to only show the... I'll show the first Tableau for 5 seconds, or 6 seconds, but then I'll show the next Tableaus just for a second each. Because we're going to want to be iterating on this this final Tableau, and so we'll want to get to it ASAP. Activate archery. And then... So these ones will go fast, and then all right, let's look at this animation. All right, so one thing that's like hard to. Oh, the size of the animation, the size of the frame is off, so that the marks are going to be hitting like off the screen. So actually, let's fix that real quick because it's hard to evaluate it. The other thing I realized is that I do have to touch up this this frame of animation because like now that the arrow is at a different angle, it looks weird that it looks like it's like coming in as like a hook shot. It's like going up at an angle and then like landing in. Yeah, so I'll have to I'm not gonna do much. Actually, I'll just I'll literally just rotate it a little bit. Cause like it's now more at like this angle. Actually, it's at like this angle. So alright, I'm literally just going to do that to it for now. And I'll put in better art later. Just for the sake of evaluating it. What was the positioning, right. So what was the oh shoot, I should have kept track of like what the width of these things had been previously. Oh wait, I know I can get that information. Z. It used to be a width of 170, and now it's a width of 272. So I added 102 pixels to it. So what would this be? This would be archery, HT, THWAP. Oh yeah, no. For these we use the position. So it's archery HT result or hit position. Yeah. Hit. Pause. Okay, so right, so here's where we use them, but the place where we set them is down here, and archery HT frames minus archery HT THWAP. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Archery HT hit positions. Wait, why are we getting the height out of... Oh, yeah, no, we do get both of those. So wait, which is the first one? This one must be the lateral value. So what is the archery HT THWAP, index 0, index 1? That's the width of it. Archery HT... Wait, so that should have been updated automatically, because the width changed. What? The width changed, so we're already using the width value here. Why did that not get updated correctly? We're subtracting off the width. Was it the height that didn't... Maybe the height... No, the height shouldn't have affected anything either. What? I mean, I'm just going to subtracting 102, but that really shouldn't do anything. That should not fix anything. It'd be, like, dirty bad if that actually fixes anything. Activate archery. Did I not save the first frame of animation or something? Maybe I forgot to save that image as changed. Oh, that could explain it, actually. So this is probably going to be off in the other direction, because I probably double fixed it. What? Oh, I forgot to change that frame of animation. Alright. Alright, so yeah, no, this is not necessary, because I fixed it when I rotated it slightly. I fixed it that way, so I had just forgotten to save, because I hadn't edited this one previously, so I forgot to hit save, and so this one didn't change the width, and that was the one that we were using to determine the width. So yeah, okay. So the position is better. Oh yeah. So for the third one, I just forgot to update this index. This is supposed to be index 3 now. Oh, sorry, not that one. That's supposed to be index 2. This is supposed to be index 3. As well as this and oops, as well as this and this. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Yeah. So activate archery. So we're aiming, yay for aiming stuff, and then we're shooting and seems okay. Yeah, I think this looks good. So like I said, though, I just still want to update that first frame of animation because that needs to look better. And then the other thing I want to do is excuse me. Sorry. And then the other thing we'll want to do is sorry, I'm just watching it more, seeing if anything jumps out at me. Yeah, so for that last frame of animation, I will want to do several different positions of it, so that way... Oh. Well... Yeah. I was just thinking, like, it kind of make more sense if, like... So, like, when the arrow hits on the left side of the target, like, it makes sense to see it at that angle. When it hits, like, at the right side of the target, I feel like we should actually be seeing it, like, at a different angle. But, like, how many of those do I really feel like drawing? maybe I'll cheat the maybe I'll like rotate the target slightly. Maybe we'll like be seeing the target not head on. Because like in the first frame we see the target like directly head on, and like when we're aiming our shot, we see the target directly head on. Maybe for the final frame of animation, we'll actually see it at like slightly an angle, so that way it makes sense that they're all hitting from the same angle, regardless of where. Because like when it shoots across, like when it's the target, like as soon as it hits a different position, like it looks fine in the first position, but as soon as it hits a different position, it's like, wait a second, why is the perspective not different? Like why are we seeing like, why are we seeing all of these arrows with the exact same perspective? It makes it like look weird, and like yeah, so yeah, let's do that, I guess. For the final part, we'll like we won't see it as like as head on as here, and we won't see it as side on as in that like long view tableau when you see them like from the side, but we'll see it like a little bit from the side, I guess, and that'll make it make a little more sense in terms of like why the oh, why that looks like that. Then of course I will have to redo some of the target zones because I'll be like, it'll be a little bit narrower, I guess. Or actually, no, I was gonna say I could just stretch it vertically instead of like shrinking it, because if I just stretch it, vertically, I'll still have to change some of those values a little bit. So that's fine. I might just want to repick those values altogether, because like I picked those values and then I completely changed like the composition of the that scene, and so it's entirely feasible that I'd actually want like just like a different spread. Like I could use different areas of the scene or different areas of that range. But yeah, no, the important thing is that we're mostly on the right track, I think. Okay. So yeah, what is it that I want to do with this background then? I guess yeah. So let's stretch it a little bit. So oops, not rotate. Let's stretch it a little bit, and then add some depth to it. Oh yeah, and stretching it actually kind of makes sense in some ways, because like the whole point of like the aiming here is not the verticality to it, but rather the laterality, or like the the horizontal aspect of like where you're aiming. So yeah, no, this could be good, I guess. So right, so I'll just take like one of them for starters, and we'll just like see it a little bit more from the side. So actually, whereas previously we'd had like a darker edge around this side, we'll actually no, what the crap? Why on earth would you do that, you stupid machine? So just as an example of like things that I'm not enthusiastic about with paint.net is like you hit a keystroke and it's like, I'm gonna just make everything turn disappeared and white, and like why would you do that? No one ever would want that. No one would ever want that. Not in the history of mankind has anyone ever wanted just the entire screen to get destroyed suddenly for no reason. Oops, that was a little too thin. I don't want to completely get rid of this. I should zoom in further because I'm not hitting the right range. So I'm using paint.net because I've been using paint.net. That's literally the reason that I'm using paint.net. Is like at a certain point I was like, I should use a different program, but then I was just like, well, I've made all of my art in paint.net so far, and if I switch programs, it'll probably like, I don't know if I'll be using different brushes, and it might give my art like a slightly different look, and I don't know if I necessarily want to change like the style. Like I like the style, and so I avoided switching because I was like, well, I'm already using it, so I might as well just like continue using it for a little while longer. Not the right decision though. Probably not the right decision. All right, I think I'm gonna shift like the center. So like the center of the target is in the center of this panel right now, but I think I'm actually gonna move it over a little bit. So I'm I'm just gonna like shift it. So this I'll have to recalculate what the center position means here because it's not gonna be. So I'm gonna shift it like over by like. Oops, I don't want to. Sorry, I selected literally everything, but actually I don't want to select the black bars because the black bars are not going to move. So I just want to. I'll just do this middle one for starters, and then so how many? Oh yeah, how many pixels am I translating this by? Actually, no, I'll do all of them together because it'll actually be easier to track how many pixels I'm shifting it if I do it that way. Because I can go all the way to the edge here, and I can just shift it till it looks right, and so that looks about right. And because I went all the way to the edge, it's giving me a reading of -16. So I'll want to go to what is it? Archery. It's like center. Oh, I'm not actually using these center values. Ugh, gross. Wait, am I? No, I'm still using archery center. I'm still using archery center, right? Right? This is still part of the calculation. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. So I just moved the center by 16 pixels. So it goes from 58 down, or 158 down to 142. Okay. So good. And then right. So we're seeing the target slightly from the side, and so as we saw, what was the shape of these targets? Open archery, long view. So the targets we saw, like they have this wooden structure coming out from behind, and they have like hay sticking out and stuff. So we might catch a peek of that now. So like the hay. Maybe not. I don't know if I necessarily want to add in those details. So I'll just like emphasize the thickness of it, and then that'll probably be satisfactory for changing the positions. So I probably do want to go back and change those coordinates that have like preloaded for like accuracy ranges, but I'll also oh yeah, I definitely want to change those because I actually want to take the verticality, like I want to tone the verticality way down because like verticality, like you can't control the up down of your shot, so like there's no point in like showing that the because if I show that the player hit like here, that's like so mean. It's just rude to do that because like to hit here would imply that they actually got the left right aspect correct, but they just hit like high for some reason. No, it should be like the range that I should be using should be like this range here. So like if you hit like way off the target, like there can be some there can be some height to it, but like it shouldn't be like again, like hitting here is like you got the left right like almost right, but then you did not hit your target like whatsoever. So yeah, no, I should not be going like anywhere in like this range at all. I should because there's still plenty of variety to have like the arrow hitting like anywhere in like this range, right? Like there's still plenty of like ripe range to be like striking. Okay, so let's save that, and then oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this layer because I need to use oh wait, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna make this layer ghostly because I want to keep the centers correct, but I want to replace the borders with this version. So let's go down here, copy and paste, and let's put this over here. Yeah, because I want these I want the centers to line up. I just want to be replacing the edges, the outlines. So I think that is lined up. Yeah, that looks good. And then over here, perfect. Right, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Good. Yeah, so let's see how this looks. I think this. Yeah, because now the targets are just slightly angled away, so I think it'll look slightly less weird that all the arrows are sticking in from the same direction. And worst case scenario, I could always just like make a few variations on like that arrow to make it be like slightly angled differently depending on where it's hitting on the side. Um, so activate archery. Aim, 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 long aim, and then pew. Yeah, look at that. 0%. Oh, you know what's funny is I don't know. This might be fine. I might keep it like this, but like the other thing is like I almost feel like I've overcompensated with the position of the arrow. Like I tried to make the arrow like as foreshortened as possible, so I might want to make it like less foreshortened now that we're actually hitting from like an angle, or like hitting it from the side of the target. Um, it almost looks like I spun the target like too much in some ways, kind of. I probably won't change too much about the animation frames, but I might change the frame of like the arrow resting in position. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's get back to it and update stuff accordingly. So for starters, I might just yeah. So for starters, I'm going to do what? Uh, oh yeah, I want to actually shift the most of these layers like over and down a little bit. Just a little bit because it occurred to me I actually want to put like the shadow that I have around the where the bullseye is, or where the arrow hits the target. I actually want to beef that up a little bit, I think, just to really emphasize like here is where the target is hitting. So yeah. So I'll move it over 2 pixels. Uh, Over. Actually, this one I guess I don't have to move. But this one I do. And then yeah. So what was I gonna do about the foreshortening, or like the? Yeah. No. Oh yeah, yeah. I was thinking I might just like, I don't know, just for temporary, I might just like stretch it. No, that's not gonna work. But I'm basically gonna do something like that. All right. So don't squish those layers together. Um, Maybe it'll be easier to do the fletching now. That'd be nice. All right, so oh yeah, so I guess for these other ones, I'd kind of want to do the same thing. Now I'll worry about those later. Okay, so let's yeah, let's change the shaft first. Uh, so the air shaft will be a little bit, or actually, I'm gonna hide the fletchings for a second. Hide the fletchings. Switch, hide them. Yeah, because it'll just be a little less. It'll be a little less downward pointed. It'll be a little more like this. Uh, Not a major change. And also, the other thing I was saying is that it was a little too beefy. I should narrow it out a little bit too. Uh, but I still want to have that line of shading on it. So let's color pick the shading tone and make sure we. Whoa, that was not the correct. Oh, I picked it from the wrong layer. Because I'm color picking from layers now. Alright. Sorry. That was too much. That was way too much. Okay. So yeah, let's clean up this stuff. And I can make it a little bit longer, I guess, because we're seeing it more from the side now. We're not seeing it directly head on. And so I don't want the darts. I don't want them to look like darts. I do want them to look like arrows, right? I don't want them to be too stubby. And yeah, since we're seeing them slightly from the angle now, then this is fine. There'll still be a little bit of foreshortening going on. It'll be a little bit thicker, like towards the end than at the base, but not as much as before. And there will still be the so on the butt of the arrow, there will still be like the notch and so on and so forth. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and so the fletchings that we drew before, like we might not have to completely redraw them. We might be able to reuse some of what we have. Whoops, wrong way. Uh, uh, yeah, because they'll probably still line up a little bit, and then we can just like retouch the. I hate when I move something and there's like a lingering selection range. For some reason, it really irks me just to have like a selection range, because I like never actually use a selection range for like basically anything, unless I'm in the process of moving something, or like copying or pasting. So like to have it lingering like after I don't know. It just like irks me. It's one of my pet peeves, I guess. I don't know. Okay, this is probably fine. Uh, so, uh, wait, what is this? What's the shape here that I'm trying to accomplish? I guess kind of like that, basically. Fletchings. Arrows just shouldn't have fletchings. It'd be way easier to draw. What did I do with the color picker? Oh, um, vector graphics. I do use vector graphics, just not for this, because vector graphics would be garbage for this. This is the exact opposite of what vector graphics are for. Like vector graphics are when you don't want soft lines. Vector graphics are when you want everything to be perfectly flat and like no like you actually want like to like like make you want the entire scene to be completely devoid of any sense of like gradient, basically. Not necessarily gradient, because like you can do gradient with vector, but like it like I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I won't do a very good job of describing exactly what is that difference. It's just it's a very important difference. Uh, all right. So this darker gray color that we have like for the oops, I'm on the wrong layer. This darker gray color that we have for the tone here. That Yeah, I just wanted to like play up on this a little bit, because this is very small on the image. Like this is gonna be like not supremely noticeable. So I actually kind of want to add like another layer above it, uh, and have like yeah, it's not gonna be quite this dark, but it's gonna be like a little bit darker, just so it looks like it's like the arrow is really like hitting the target. So not quite this dark. But like yeah, kind of like that. So it looks like it's like puncturing the target, kind of. Yeah. Okay. So let's squish these together, and then whoops. Oh, right. Okay, no, I have to squish them in reverse order. So squish these together, then squish these together, then squish these together. Then delete this layer. Save that, and I'm not actually see what. Oh, so I'll undo the squishing of the layers and stuff. But let's actually see what this looks like, because before I redo the other frames of animation, I want to make sure that this is good here. Activate archery. So the animation might look a little weird because I haven't updated it yet, but I just want to make sure that the arrow sticking into the target looks good. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is that like they're angled a little too up. They might want I probably want to make them a little more like level, like a little less angled up. Right, because since we're hitting the target like from the side now, a little bit from the side, like we don't have to have that like angly aspect to it. So let's stop that version of the script, because we don't need that anymore. And then go back here and yeah, let's just so we can let's hide the fletchings again, and I guess I should have tested the angle before I like redrew as much as I did, but I did not, and so I will redraw a bit of this again. Right, so kind of like before when we brought it like up more, we just bring it up a little bit higher. Other than that, I think it looked good. Uh, and then get rid of this. So yeah, like I said, I should have tested the angle before I went and did the rest of the stuff, so I'm going to test the angle real quick. I'm just going to copy this layer, file, new, okay, paste, save as, oh, this doesn't need to be nearly as, like, this doesn't need to, like, I can trim the bottom of this image too. It doesn't need to extend nearly as far down anymore. Hits, this will be THWAP 3. Okay. So again, I'm not updating the animation yet. I'm just actually wait, if I'm just animate I'm not that smart. No, if I'm not updating the animation, I can just go like this. Oops, new layer. I can just see how it looks stuck into the target. So that looks good, I think. That looks like it's the correct angle. No matter where you put it, it like looks like the correct angle. So I guess on the top of the frame, it looks a little bit downward pointed, but like not extremely. Maybe we're just viewing the scene slightly from above. It's like when we put it down here, maybe it looks slightly upward pointed, but like it looks mostly, you know, no matter where you put it on here. Okay, so that's good. So we'll call that good. Close that. And then so let's do the fletchings one more time. We don't have to redo the spot where it hits because that didn't change. But let's alright, I'm just gonna redo the fletchings. Actually, I'll use the same color, but I'll just redo them. And then yeah, I probably do want it. Like I was saying before, I probably want multiple of these arrows like hitting the target, like the ones where they're at rest. Because like if I use the same one for all 3 hits, then it's gonna look a little bit uncanny that like all the arrows just happen to hit the target with the exact same orientation. Like that's a little weird. That wouldn't actually like happen in like statistically speaking, that would not happen very often. So it definitely shouldn't happen literally every time. Okay. I don't know, that seemed easier. Maybe there's something terribly wrong with the fletchings, but that seemed easier to draw. Maybe because I'm not like worrying about like as much foreshortening and stuff like that anymore. It was not as difficult anymore to draw that. But good either way. So now let's let's look at it from a distance to make sure. Actually, wait, yeah. So now from a distance, I don't completely like it yet because I want to. I just want to get the tips a little sharper, actually. Because the shapes were just looking a little blob-like. But, excuse me. Sorry. But yeah, I think this is mostly good. I need a smaller brush for this, because I'm just going to keep drawing over and erasing and redrawing and erasing and redrawing and erasing. Oops, wrong tool. Oh, part of it is that the shaft is not perfectly straight. Alright, so oops, wrong color. Alright, so that and stuff, and then and then here, like so, and here, and stuff, and yeah, I don't know, something like that's fine. Actually, this should be slightly more pointy. Yeah, that's probably fine. Except this part is like slightly wiggly, and that's weird. Huh. That's awkward. It's supposed to be like, oh, maybe it's, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about that. Oops, no, not that. That's fine enough. I'll not worry about it. Okay. So, oh, and all right. So one last thing is that this one is like mutating the shape of the arrow because it's like wrapping like too far around or something. It should be like, it should be more like, oh yeah, it should be more out like this, I guess. Okay. And now we're probably good. This arrow is so weird shaped. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. That's fine. Right? That's fine. That's entirely fine. Okay. Again, not Control S. What am I going to do? Okay, so I'm going to squish these layers back together again so that we preserve the shadow. Squish the shaft in and the fletching. Get rid of this other layer. Save that. There we go. And then undo all of that because we're going to probably keep most of the same image, but then change the fletchings just to get like alternate versions of these things. Okay, so let's update these now. So yeah, what is the difference really? Like what is, so file, open this image here, copy, oh, you know what? I probably want to move this down a little bit in the frame, because now that it's more like, horizontal, like the bwawawa will have like more of an up and down angle to it, and that will necessitate a little extra vertical space, which is awkward because like we were almost always hitting like in the upper corner. But no, I guess this is fine. No, this is easy enough to fix. Yeah. Okay. So let's do what? We can, yeah, we can just shift it down by some amount. I guess like, okay, let's just try it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have to count this. I don't imagine needing like more than that much space, so we can just shift it down by 16 pixels, and then again, like I said before, like we don't need all this space on the bottom anymore either, because it's since it's more like, since more horizontal now, we can probably get rid of a bunch of this too, but we'll do that later. So save this. Okay, and then so the archery center height, I just shifted like the arrow point down by 16 pixels, so I think I want to shift the center point up by 16 pixels. Basically. Yeah? Up by 16 pixels? Oh, plus an extra 2 pixels. Because we shifted, yeah, right. So for the archery center, oh yeah, so we shifted it over by 2 pixels, so we'll want to, for the center, in this case we actually want to add 2 pixels for the center. Because we like subtracted 2 pixels from like where the center of the arrow hits, and so we'll want to add 2 pixels for where the center of the target is located in order to offset that. No, the other way around. We'll want it to be, well, we'll see. I can always nudge those values around. 140. If we say the arrow if we say like the arrow is going to hit like off center, which way do we want to say the center now is? No, I think we want to say it's the opposite direction. If we subtract 2, no, then we should add 2, so it should be 44. Okay, so it's at 40 and it hits like directly on. If now it starts hitting like off by 2 pixels, then we want to say we want to shift the whole thing up by 2 pixels. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because then the center isn't. Yeah. Okay. So then okay. So again for the center height, we want to do the same thing. If we're saying that if we're saying that it's 16 pixels down, we want to push this 16 pixels up, and by up I mean down, because we're working on the y coordinate of 2D graphics, and some jerk decided that that up is down and left is right, and not literally left is left, right is right, but up is down and down is up, which is annoying. So 91. So we'll put it up by 16. No, up by 18 pixels. That'll be 73. 73. Okay. Save that. And now, alright, so, I mean, I'm tempted, like, for these, I might just, like, rotate and, like, stretch and set them up like that. So let's start by copying this on a new layer here, just for comparison. Okay, so right, so here's what we had before, and here's what we have now. Let's, this is like the fletching. Let's, just to see how well this can work. Let's put this here. Let's erase the dark base part, because we have like, we're doing the dark base part like a little differently now. We can do what? Right, so let's drag this here. Actually, well, yeah, let's select like all of this, and then so we want to rotate it so it's at like the same angle. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's funny that it rotates the this entire square frame, so like the stretch and squash values like get all weird too. I think I'm just gonna do this for starters, and then I'll like clean up the art a little bit, but like first thing we'll do is like this basically. Okay. Right, so this is like kind of what we had before. This is like the conversion of like what we had before. So let's go to this layer and erase. Wait, what am I doing? Is that working? What am I doing? Oh, I'm just using too small of a brush. I was like, why is that? Okay. Right, so we want to keep that like dark shadow at the base. And now, so we lost a little bit of resolution here. So I mean, like this was already like blurry and like faded. So all we really have to do now is bring back a little bit of the where's the cleanest place to color pick this color? A little bit of the shaft here. I'm just going to use 1 pixel brush because I like to live dangerously. Just bring back a little bit of this definition here, and I don't want to widen the point of contact, because it wouldn't vibrate around the point of contact. Like the point of contact is, whoops. Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Of course. Yeah, no, the point of contact wouldn't move. It's fixed into the board, so that would stay rigid. Okay, and then how much DPI am I using, by the way? DPI. I don't know. I mean, it's just it's like I'm not using pixel art, but it's basically pixel art. So, are you asking like what my screen resolution is? Because like the graphics of SideQuest are 1920 pixels wide, but it's like the way Pygame works is that it renders everything as if it's pixel art. So yeah. So I'm not like I'm not making pixel art. I'm like making just very small illustrations, but that should answer your question. Okay. Uh, all right. So I'm just going over these lines that we had and like reinforcing them a little bit because like yeah, there's supposed to be a lot of like ghostly like transparency here for this effect, but there's not supposed to be there's also supposed to be some degree of resolution because if it's all just like this mushy like ghostly whatever, it's gonna look weird. Uh, so uh, it's just gonna look like a I don't know. It's gonna look ill-defined. Like this animation is already like really super fast and like it blink and you miss it sort of thing. So we don't need it to be any less perceptible. Like it's already if it gets any less perceptible, you'll just like it won't like the effect won't convey at all. Like it'll just look like a weird like splat or whatever. So I just want to sharpen up some of these edges, because like it's supposed to like it's like a fast moving like object, but it is like an object with very clearly defined edges. So um, like there should be like some degree to which you can perceive that like there's like angliness to it or whatever. Angliness, that's a real word. I think I made this a little too thick. That's probably about right. Oh, I think the curve is off, right? Like the it's supposed to just like so yeah, it's supposed to just extend out like that, and so there's no reason that it would extend further out up here. Like the arc is a little weird. Like it doesn't extend far enough out down here, and it extends too far out down there. Um, but that should be fine for that. Although, actually, this might have gotten a little too. I think that got a little too opaque, so I'm gonna go back in with a little more translucency. Like it can be sharp translucency, but it should still be like translucency. Uh, yeah. This is like probably mostly fine. Just gonna do a little more of the like the wood part up here. That was not right. uh, oh yeah, and I use like that smudgy like in between color in some places. Uh, yeah, this is fine. Uh, okay, it's a little bit better. I don't even know what I'm going for exactly, but like it's kind of like a I'll know it when I see it sort of thing, and that's fine enough. So, all right, let's save that, or let's do all the smushing and squishing and all that fun stuff. All right, this one's not too hard. Just squish these, delete this, save this. Oh, did I offset it correctly? Yeah, I did. I moved it down the correct number of pixels. All right, so copy this. Again, let's just start with what we have here and just extend the effects, like, because it's pretty straightforward. We just take these and extend them outward again, so that there's more. That was really lumpy and stuff, but I made it kind of intentionally a little extra lumpy just because I know I was gonna be shaving it down a little bit. Uh, will you be able to shoot players? Yes. Well, there's a caveat to that rule. You can shoot players, or like player shooting is a thing that will happen. However, it's that everyone can shoot Karawan, is how it works. Karawan can shoot no one, and everyone can shoot Karawan, is how it works. It's basically like a one versus everyone sort of system, where the everyone has a bow and arrows, unlimited supply, and tracking dogs, like dogs to hunt down, whatever game they might be after. And then the one player, the Karawan, has nothing. 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 And that is, of course, a lie. The, like, I don't know. There's something, like, wrong with this is escalating quickly, but there's something like fundamentally like wrong with humanity, and it'll like that aspect of humanity will like kill itself off, and I don't have to involve myself with it, so I don't. Which isn't to say that I don't like PvP games. I just like I don't know, like what was there's like there's like an image macro or like a screenshot of like I don't know. Like I don't even remember. I don't even remember if it was from an image macro or if it was from a screenshot or like where I heard this. Like, but like, I just remember like okay. So one time, I could probably dig this up if I wasn't in the middle of something. But like, this is basically like a thing that apparently happened in like game dev, which is like just terrifying to me. Like some actual person's like actual question to an actual game developer, or like maybe not even to a game developer, but about a game, like just like unprovoked or like with no apparent provocation, this person asked like, is there going to be a mode of this game where you can shoot innocent people without repercussion? Is there going to be a mode of this game? I think they probably didn't even say you. They probably said I. They probably even said like they probably like had no shame about what they were asking. They probably just asked, is there going to be a mode of this game where I, as like a psychotic, like maladjusted teen, they were probably so self-aware that they even said that. No, is there going to be a mode of this game where I can shoot innocent people and not worry about like retaliation or like repercussions like from the game systems? And it's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong in your head that that's where you go? Like, what is, like, why is that your idea of fun? I guess that's the question. Why when you like when you think about games and you think about fun, why is that where your head goes? And I just like again like I play PvP games, like I have nothing against that. Like if someone makes a fun PvP game, then like that's cool. If someone doesn't, the question of can I just murder people is representative of like a sickness. And like I said, I'm pretty sure those people will just die out on their own. I'm pretty sure they'll all just like murder each other, and the world won't have to worry about them. I'm pretty sure the future of the species is safe because those individuals will just like selectively remove themselves from the population. But it's creepy. It creeps me right the heck out. I don't mean to equate you necessarily or anyone listening with like that particular person, because that was like an extreme example of like what the F. But like I don't know. I'm just always reminded of it when people are like arbitrarily like, oh, can arbitrary violence that like adds nothing to the game, like it's like, whoa. It's like, whoa. You know what? Maybe don't worry about video games for a little while. Maybe like go worry about like psychological health instead. But all right. So just for testing this, I'm gonna once again I'm just gonna take our temp art and I'm just gonna rotate it again to kind of like match the angle that we have going on. And just see how this looks. So save that, save that, save that. I'm pretty sure I already saved this one. Yeah. And let's see how this looks. Uh, sorry, it's hard. It's hard not to think about things that are like terrifying about like humanity. Um, I'll try not to though. All right. Hey, look at that bullseye. Uh, and then okay. So yeah. So the pshhhew. So we have the THWAP and we have the bwawawa. We just need to do the pshhhew now. Uh, and then we'll be done with this tableau. I'm just gonna watch it again, just to see if anything else stands out. Um, so we get a bullseye, we get a near hit, and then we get a not so near hit. So the ranges seem to be working fine still. Like everything seems to be like, is Python easy? It's just different. Like I don't know. Like it's mostly just different. There are some things that are easier, but like, I mean, like, whenever you simplify a tool set, what you're really doing is you're like raising some things to the top, and then anything like below the surface level becomes like horribly complex because of like all the simplification you added on top of it. So like, yeah, it's like there are some things that are much simpler than C sharp, and then there are some things that are just like so dumb. Um, is my perspective because I actually worked in C sharp before working in Python, and there's some things that I just really miss. There's some things that I bemoan and lament and wish I had in my life. Um, like for example, the way Python does functions is dumb, and or specifically the way they do scoping with regard to functions. The way they do scoping, actually, I think is like my problem. Like things that should like be within the same lexical scope are not, and things that should not be in the same lexical scope are, in my opinion. So that makes it really fun. That makes it so fun. Let me tell you. Um, all right, yeah. So I still need to do the. So yeah. So what I'm thinking for this is this is probably not going to change dramatically. Well, no, this will change kind of dramatically. So the idea here is that basically we have this like swoopy, swooshy, like like blur of like arrow towards target that represents the arrow like flying through the air. So uh, let's basically start over. Actually, I'll make this one like really faint because it's like positioned roughly correctly. So I'll just make this like really faint and put it in the background, and we can draw over it. Not that faint. Yeah. Is that the right position? Let's look at our. Let's look at here. I can close this one now. No, I'm gonna leave this one open because, like I said, I need to do the other fletching positions. But let's look at these all together. At uh, at distance or at size, at scale. So here's where it lands into the target. So it's supposed to be like, yeah, it's supposed to be about like halfway. It's like, yeah, this is about right. Being a C sharp user for about 3 months and starting to get annoying because you're at the point where you know basics of the language, yet some things are really confusing. Oh yeah. I'd Is C sharp the first language that you started working with, or like what other languages do you have experience with? Because I have a suggestion, but I don't know if it's right for you. Uh, uh, so let's okay. So let's add in a new layer here, and so let's use the color of the arrow And let's put this in as like, oops, not eraser tool, brush tool. Let's use a thicker brush. Uh, First language other than HTML and a bit of CSS. Yeah, don't worry about languages would be my suggestion. Like use like a non-language based programming set and because I know well yeah, so I imagine there's like some things about like programming logic that will probably like carry over well from like HTML and CSS, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that like so yeah, the way I've been describing it lately, like the advice I've been giving of late is that basically the uh, the important thing to learn is programming. Coding is like a neat trick that you can do, but like in order to code effectively, you need to know the programming and you need to know the syntax. And like syntax is like stupid and no one cares about it. Well, I mean syntax is like details. Like it's like semantics. It's like the fundamental like the programming concepts that are like the actually important part. So um, uh, I would say one of the best things you can study would be the yeah, just cut language out of the picture, and uh, and then like um, and like I mean like not like permanently like I don't know. There's like some value in knowing uh, how to code, but like don't worry about it until like not for this foreseeable future, I guess. And then like once you're making whatever it is that you want to make, like programming whatever you want to program, like you know once you're all good and you got that all figured out, then the the coding part will be, it'll just be a matter of like looking at docs, like just poking in the docs and being like, wait, what's the term for this? Okay, good. What's the term for this one? Okay, good. Uh, so I should probably sharpen this edge. I should probably sharpen the front edge. Like I'm like kind of like exaggerating the shape a little bit, like to make it like I don't know. Actually, no. You know what I should be doing? No, I shouldn't be making it so like squat. I shouldn't. If anything, I should be like elongating it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's uh let's take this shape and actually stretch it out. Uh, Actually, yeah. So I guess I don't really have to. I can stay like relatively narrow. Uh, I'll redraw it too. I'm just like, wait, what was the angle roughly? Oh no, the angle. That's like too much angle. It's actually much more horizontal. Okay. Uh, yeah, kind of like that. And then, well, actually, oh no, you know what? Let's actually pull it back. More towards like here. Ah, yeah, whatever. That's fine. I'll make it narrower. It doesn't need to be like unnecessarily like thick or whatever. And why do I keep rotating it? Why do I keep rotating it? Alright, so deselect, and then actually yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this background layer. It's not helping. It's just confusing. Okay. So that's right. So here we have our like in flight arrow. Uh, and yeah, so I'll put in a background layer because I do want to put in like some sort of like floosh like pshhhew sort of effect. Uh, you can make things. You have a few text-based games. It's just stuff like networking and graphics. Oh, just networking and graphics. Oh, well, that's all. Uh, well, so networking and graphics has nothing to do with C sharp. It just has to do with like whatever like engines or projects or what sort of like engines or solutions you're using. So I would say use better, like maybe look for better tools. Like what? So you're using C sharp, but like what dev environment are you using? Like what engines are you using? Like what other yeah like I mean if you're writing if you're writing networking and graphics code from scratch, then like I don't know, I don't have that experience, so have fun, have a good time, do what makes you happy. Um, and other than that, so maybe uh, yeah, no, I'm just gonna. I don't want to use blue for this like swooshy effect for like the pshhhew sort of like. I don't want to use white though either. What color would I want this to be? Maybe I will just use a light blue. Maybe I'll just make it like a more subtle effect than before. And I'll use like maybe some tones of light blue, but then like mostly like white or like light, more like light gray sort of tones. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. So I just don't want to use the sky color, which I guess I kind of do though, because like it's not like I want to introduce another light blue tone. Um, I could do like I don't want to do anything in the red or the orange range either. Fine, it'll be like a very light blue. It'll be like a very faint blue. Like very faint, like basically whitish. Uh, doo-doo-doo. There's like I don't know what it is, but something metallic is like outside my window, and it's like angled at like the perfect way to like put a reflection, like a really bright shiny thing, like right at my eye. Um, it's a little distracting. I might have to go punch whoever did that. No. I threaten to punch surprisingly many things, considering how nonviolent I am in real life. I think it's because I think to me it's hilarious to say like, "Oh, I'll punch a thing," because I don't actually punch things. Uh, but I realize that like unless you knew that I'm not a violent person, then that wouldn't seem especially funny. It would sound more violent. Uh, but anyways, so maybe I should stop saying. Maybe I should stop saying that I should punch things. Uh, let's so let's go for an even lighter version for the outer edge. Oops. Actually, there are a few things wrong with that. For one thing, I used the wrong tool, and for another thing, I didn't actually mean to go perfectly white, like not like light. Well, actually, no. I'll do zero saturation, but I won't do zero value. Uh, Actually, let's see what the target looks like underneath here. So, copy this and whoops, wrong layer or wrong position. There we go. Yeah. So, oops. Whatever. All right. So this is just supposed to be like. This is supposed to be like cutting through. Actually, this is too much. This is already too much. It's basically supposed to be like I don't know, like kind of like this, kind of like something like this. This is like roughly. This is like kind of what the final thing will look like probably, except like the final thing won't look so dumb and like doofy. So let's try and clean this up a bit. And then so this literally will only show on screen for like one frame. I could make it show on screen for 2 frames, but that would make it feel a lot slower. Right, because like because this only shows up for like 1 frame, like the speed it'll register as like maximum speed. Like there's nothing that like anything that registers for less than a single frame is like basically invisible, right? Because if it doesn't register for at least one frame, it's like the only thing that goes faster than something that registers for exactly one frame is something that doesn't register for any frames. So it's not the arrow is not literally going so fast that it's invisible, but it's about as close as you can get to that without actually being the case. Oops. Stupid R tool, whatever the R tool is. It's my bane. It's almost as bad as the clone stamp tool. Almost. It's not as bad as the clone stamp tool because it doesn't like pop up that stupid error message when you get it, but it's pretty annoying. Still pretty annoying. Oops, wrong tool. Oops, wrong tool. I'm good at that. I'm good at picking the wrong tool. I do it a lot. I have a lot of practice picking the wrong tool. See, look at that. Look at me go. Look how good I am at practicing picking the wrong tool. Wait, hold on. Since I've already messed that up, might as well get this line better before I draw the other line back in. And might as well draw this line better so I don't have to keep redrawing it. Might as well just draw it right the first time, right? There we go. Alright, so almost there. I'm going to darken that blue color a little bit just so that there's more contrast here, because it's supposed to like, so I'm using this like light almost white color around the outside, but then for the stuff that's like closer to the base, like it's this like light white color is like only supposed to be for like the very for the very edgy outward stuff. For the rest of this stuff, it'll be a darker blue, I think. And I said I didn't want to use blue, and I don't, but yet here we are. Flood on layer. So how dark do I want this to be? Not that dark. Maybe not as like value-y. Not as saturated, not as value-y. Not as saturated, not as more value-y. I guess that's fine. Something like that's fine. Alright, so stop honking, you stupid program. No one cares about you. Get a life. That was a little unnecessarily harsh. You're focused on your future right now. You want to be a software engineer. Yeah, right. That's what we were talking about. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, sorry, I zoned out of chat for a little while. A few days ago, you looked at this one game's code, understood every bit of it. Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, so the other thing is, like, don't try and make things on your own. Like, don't start by trying to make things on your own. Start by, like, remaking things that have already been made. There's no point in, like, trying to, like, invent, like, a computer science education. There are plenty of, like, great computer science educations that exist right now. And you are pursuing one, which is good. But, like, just because you're pursuing, like, one, formalized computer science education doesn't mean that in your free time you're not allowed to like do things that are conducive to learning. So like don't like in your free time, like I don't know, I mean if you want to make games, like if you just want to go out and like if you're not trying to like get good at making games, you're just trying to like see if you can make them right now, then like that's interesting and like good luck. But like no, if your goal is to someday like make games, then like don't like I mean like start making game projects, but like don't try and like invent your own things. Like don't expect like that, like no one does that. No one like just knows like magically at the start like, oh, here's how you go about that. Like everyone sucks at first and then they eventually figure out how to do that stuff. So no, go suck at stuff. Go like I mean the way I learn things is I literally follow in someone else's example. Like you can find tons of like tutorials out there, and you can find plenty of things that will uh, like walk you through like how to go about making stuff. So I'm like I highly recommend those just because that's like if you want to someday be able to make your own games, then like why not start by making games, right? But like if you don't know how to make games by yourself, like in order to make games, you have to make someone else's. Like it's like I don't know. It's weird because like on the one hand, like one of the most important things like you can do in game dev is like make your own stuff. Because like if once you know how to make games, you're still like copying other people, then you're just a bad person, and you're like a waste of human life, and you should probably just like stop doing everything with your life. Just like stop existing. Um, but like when you're first getting started, like that's how you get started. That's like yeah, like right. So once you the way you like get to the point where you actually can like do your own things is by like collecting and like accruing like all of the necessary skills in order to do your own things, um, and there are like a million people out there who are already doing that sort of thing who would be happy to give you a leg up. So yeah, it's pretty sweet, that whole internet thing that we got going on. Millions of actually, I guess you are partly to thank if your background is in HTML, then you're partly responsible for this wonderful internet experience that we've got going on, I imagine. Uh, uh, all right, so I was thinking like the white edge, like the light white edge. I might want to extend it all the way down the shape, but I actually don't like. It's possible that I'm actually going in the wrong direction with this, so I'm gonna see how this looks in game. I mean, it only shows up for a frame, so like, I probably don't have it too wrong, but like, I might not want to go quite so spiky with these things. I might want it to be a little more smoother, a little more rounder. So I might do like the spikiness with the internal shaping of like the white versus the blue, but like in terms of like the silhouette, I don't know if I necessarily want it like this. So let's see how stuff. So let's delete this layer. Squish these layers together, save this, and let's see how this looks. What is the target thing? Oh, yeah. So here we can take a look. Redonkules. This is what I'm working on right now. Is the archery mode. So specifically, like blah 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 archery, and then this is the target that we're setting up now. So like yeah. So this is our animation. Huh. Yeah, I think I don't want the I don't want that first. I guess I mean it kind of looks okay. The that first frame of animation where where it's flying through the air, it's a little bit much. It's a little bit too much. We want it to be eye catching so that you see that this like animation has begun, but we don't want it to be like overwhelming. So yeah, like I was saying with the internal versus the external spikiness, I think we'll want the spikiness to be entirely internal. Sometimes you like don't even see the first frame of animation if you hit like the target like way off to the side. Um, yeah, it's mostly good though. It's very subtle, right? I mean, it's only one. It's literally a single frame out of 30 frames per second. But all right, let's undo. Yeah, so let's just smooth this out a little bit. So it probably doesn't even have to extend as far outward either, now that I think about it. Whoops, wrong layer. It can probably be a little bit tighter, and then we can just like, actually even that might be better. But I'm gonna touch it up a little bit more. I'm just gonna tighten these. Whoops, not clone stamp tool. Not clone stamp tool. Not at all. I'm just going to tighten up a little bit of this. Whoops, that is a 1 pixel brush. I did not mean to go 1 pixel. I meant to use 2 pixel brush. So, yeah, more like this. And I'll spread out the blue a little bit more too. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be about right. So once again, let's get rid of the background, squish these together, and save that. And then, oh hey, Odambo, how's it going? When I finish the game, what am I going to do? I'm going to jump in a pool and swim around and do the backstroke. I'm going to do the backstroke. That's what I'm going to do when I finish this game. Because it's a stream-based thing, isn't it? Someone has to be streaming for it to be worth anything. So are you going to become full-time streamer or what at IDEC? I'm assuming IDEC means I don't know. IDK. What do you mean full-time streamer? I stream 40 hours a week, for one thing. So if 40 hours a week doesn't count as full-time, then like go jump in a pool and do the backstroke. Uh, but so if you're just in general asking, I'm assuming that question is what is SideQuest for, and the answer to that is it's for streams, right? And so it's for streams. There's not a more complicated answer. I mean, like in terms of like what I want to do, what I'd would like to see it used for is like, I mean, I originally concepted it for oops. Oh wait, I just realized something. I want to bring in like these blue stripes up here just slightly. Oh, and also I did a poor job of erasing up here. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, so I'd like it. I mean, I'd like the possibilities of SideQuest that I'm most excited about are the ones like that involve like, you know, like charity streams and like you know, like putting it to good use in that way. But I mean, yeah, I just like, I don't know. I made a game that plays in a stream. Like, what's like until streaming itself like dies as a medium, which I don't know, it could happen. I don't necessarily see it happening anytime soon. Then the possibilities for SideQuest are as present and varied. I mean, then I think the cool thing about streaming is that like it's very varied, right? Like the type of stuff that you get in streaming is like there's a lot happening out there. There's like a lot of different things happening. There's like, yeah, or like at any given time, the variety of like programming that you can find. I think it's actually hey Batu, hey Batuhan, new mustache. I guess so. I mean, technically it keeps growing out and I keep cutting it. So like every few weeks or so, I guess it's technically a new mustache, but uh, uh, so let's let's see how this looks, I guess. Um, oh yeah, right. So activate archery. I assume this will look fine because it looked mostly fine a minute ago. I might want to completely seal those like gaps in the like the streaky flamey parts. Not flamey, but like the streaky parts. I kind of blinked. Like I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but I kind of... Yeah, this looks fine. It's like... Okay. Good. Well, good then. So now most of the art is like finished-y, except for that tableau. That tableau needs help. Because there's like... I mean, it's like, it doesn't need much help. Like, it needs help, but it doesn't need like tons of help. I guess the one thing about that, wait. I still haven't rotated the fletchings. Okay, so yeah, so I still have to do that, before I move on. And then this tableau will be done. Because right now all the fletchings look exactly the same on all three arrows, and that just looks weird. What are you doing? That is a very broad question. It's, yeah. Fortunately, I am constantly explaining what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So it's a broad question, but it's one that will get answered like constantly. Hang in there or don't. Because like the answers are omnipresent to that question. Yay, Sogom's desk is fixed. I was worried. I was worried about that, Sogom. Don't ever do that again. No, I'm just kidding. But like, um, no, I'm glad to hear your desk is in better shape now. Um, uh, all right, so this is the layer with the fletchings on it. So let's just draw the fletchings in different positions. Uh, so let's add in a new layer, and we just need three different versions because like as long as like it's gonna be a relatively subtle detail. So as long as it doesn't look literally the same on screen repetitively, like it can look the same each time we see the fletchings. Like they can look the same then. So let's hide that layer. I'm doing a terrible job of this already. I started with way too small of a brush. I should start with a brush size 2 and then shift to a brush size 1 as needed. I should not start with a brush size 2 or brush size 1. Brush size 1 is just like I use it. I don't know. I like have a really love-hate relationship with brush size 1 because like on the one hand like there's some things that like I just really need it for, and there are other things for which it just ruins everything. Um, Sometimes it can be really frustrating learning new things because you feel so dumb as you're learning it. For instance, you posted on forum in C# and asked the best way possible to make random number generator. Oh yeah, so one thing to keep in mind with programming is that you never have to ask questions. All the questions have already been asked and answered. So so you can go on a forum and you can post like, hey, how do I do this? The thing is, well, I haven't finished reading what you said, but I'm guessing the response is probably like, oh, that's obvious, and it's not that you should have known it already. Stupid water flicker. Flickered at what's the time? 1:52. There's still a bug where the water flickers, and I'm keeping track of when it happened. So it happened at 1:52. Did we say 1:52 on 5/6? I was like, wait, how could it be 1:52? It's 1:15 in the afternoon right now. But I think the stream crashed earlier, or like the bandwidth got throttled and it like disconnected for a minute. So I guess actually it'll be like 1:52 part 2. Um, okay. And posted a random number generator. Keep in mind this is your first week learning C# and you got called so many names. I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Well, yeah. So I guess my advice would be don't ask questions on the internet. Don't ask questions on the internet. Ask the internet questions. Like go to Google and be like C# random number generator. I mean, like for one thing, look at that random class system. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at that. We got our answer. So like, don't ask questions. Okay, yeah, don't ask questions of people on the internet. Ask questions of the internet as a whole, because the information is already out there. You don't have to get someone to re-say it. Like, yeah. That'd be my advice. Which isn't to say like that people should be mean to you, because like I used to be mean, right? I just said ask the internet without being mean. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know like what message board you went to or whatever, but like it could be that like yeah, because like there are interesting things to talk about in computer science, but like questions like that are not interesting. So like I could see how it would be unwelcome on a message board, right? Because like maybe the message board is supposed to be reserved for like interesting things like things that haven't been asked and answered a million times already. I mean that's just like a rule of the internet though, right? It's like don't ask things that have already been answered, right? That's just like anywhere you go, like read the always like search to see if your question's been answered first. And like frankly, every question, not literally every question, but like 99.9999999% of questions have already been answered. So like once you get into like some more complicated topics, like then you might start getting to questions that that really do involve some investigation. But like if it's literally the first, if literally like the immediate and obvious search terms yield the very first search result to answer your question exactly, then you really don't need to be asking that question. That's like there's not even an excuse in that situation to be asking that question because you know I don't know you know whatever. All right, how does this look? That looks a little too. I don't know. Oh yeah, okay. So I was trying not to have the fletching like completely cover the shaded part, but like I guess I actually should, because it's supposed to like I was looking at it and it was like the fletching should be coming out of the side of the arrow more. So maybe it won't even come down quite as far, or maybe it will. Maybe not quite as far. Okay. How's that look? Yeah. This is I'm not enthusiastic, as you might be able to tell from that noise. I'm having kind of like the same issue as before. I don't want to like shift this and like smudge it until it becomes the exact same image that I just erased and drew over, but it doesn't look quite right yet. I'm not gonna worry about it that much. It looks fine enough. I feel like it looks fine enough. So I'm just gonna yeah, attack with it. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Actually, wait, before I do that, I'm gonna squish these layers back together because the shadow looks fine, so I don't have to keep these shadow layers like separated out like that. So now I'll just get rid of this. Get rid of this. Squish these down, and I don't want to save. I want to do Control Shift Save As, and this will be THWAP 3A, I guess. Okay. Actually, no, there's no point in naming it like that. Whatever. Okay. Well, I mean, the thing about languages and documentation at this point is that there are things like Stack Overflow, where even if like the actual documentation doesn't answer your questions, there are just a million places where questions are answered. Because like if there isn't documentation, so this is like what can happen. So if there's something that you need to know and there is documentation, there's documentation. If there's something that you need to know and there isn't documentation, then someone else needed to know it before you, or else you're like a complete innovator in your field. If you're just learning something, you're not a complete innovator yet. So someone else had to know it before you. So someone else asked that question, and now there's an answer for it because someone else asked it, right? So like either there was documentation, or it was an issue already, and someone else like solved it. So like the likelihood of like you encountering, like I really would not anticipate you to encounter an unanswered question until you're well into like until you're like, yeah, I don't know. I think the point is clear. I won't harp on it. Okay, so oh yeah, okay, so the one thing I forgot to do here is I didn't shift this down by 16 pixels, right? Because that was the other thing that we did for these images. So let's shift it down by 16 pixels and save that again. Okay, and then, right, so let's just do one more set of these fletchings, just so that there's 3 different versions, so that on screen at any given time we can be showing the 3 different versions of the fletching. So like there's that one, there's that one, and so we'll just like rotate it a little bit further, and file, or no, not file, new layer. So let's zoom in. So this is the one that we just drew. So for the next one, let's go like even further up. Oh yeah, again, I should not be using brush size 1 yet. I mean, I should use it eventually, just not for starters. And okay. So one of them will be like right along the top edge here. Actually, no, it'll be even like further up. It'll be like, yeah, it'll be like on the closer side of the top edge. And then one will be down here. fanning out like in this direction, and then the other one will be like in the back, kind of. Yeah, that's